Dr. Ndwalane, also known as Dr. Slee. I'm a specialist dermatologist based in Johannesburg, Hyde Park at a practice called SCIN Spa. It's a specialist laser and cosmetic institute. So the interest or the love for dermatology actually developed after I finished my undergraduate training in medicine, where I realized there's very few dermatologists in the country, especially Black female dermatologists, and yet skin problems are so common. Like every second patient has something that they're not happy about with the skin. And I mean, the skin is the largest organ of the body, and it's the first thing you see when you look into the mirror. It's the first thing people see on you when they look at you, and it can have a great impact on your general well-being and your mental health as well. And very often it's a window to what's going on internally. So seeing that there's very few dermatologists actually prompted me, and the fact that during our undergraduate training we don't spend enough time in dermatology prompted me to want to study further and dig deeper into the skin. Being a doctor has always been one of my biggest passions. I mean, growing up, my mother actually wanted me to be a nurse, and I think she drilled the medicine and nursing and looking after people. She drilled it into me. And when I was in high school, I mean, I did fairly well, and I thought, why not make my parents even more prouder and actually be a doctor? So that's where the love for being a doctor started. And then, like I said, in medical school, I then developed this interest in dermatology. Interestingly enough, with the lockdown, I mean, we still had quite a good influx of patients. And even studies have shown that even during lockdown, the need for aesthetics or cosmetic treatments hasn't declined. There's still a need, and it's still growing quite significantly. And I think because with the lockdown, people being at home and not having to worry about downtime with some of the treatments that we do, and there was a lot of time on their hands. A lot of places were closed, so there was pretty much nothing much to do. So then people came in to do those procedures that they've always wanted to do and they've been putting off because they just didn't have the time. No, funny enough, it hasn't. If anything, it actually did peak during the first lockdown. And then during the second wave, there was a slight decrease. There was quite a lot of cancellations with people either testing positive or having been contacts. Then they had to cancel their appointments, but it wasn't a significant drop in the numbers. Initially, it was a bit scary because, I mean, we work a lot on the face, and that means that the patient has to take off their mask. And we all know that you wearing the mask protects me, and me wearing my mask protects you. So we were left a bit vulnerable when the patients have to take off their masks, but we got used to it, and we still kept our masks on, and we still practiced all the other preventative measures, washed our hands, tried to minimize close contact. We just have a look and then quickly put the mask back on. So we have tried, given what we have. I mean, we have to wear the mask, so there's no way around that. So we just have to make do with what we have. So, okay, SCIN Med started off in Cape Town in Wembley Square, and that's been around for about 15 years. And Hyde Park store is the second branch of SCIN Med, with plans to expand nationally in the next year or two. And we offer what's commonly used in other medi spas, your chemical peels, your microneedling, and your vampire facials, which is PRP microneedling. But what's also gaining popularity, and what SCIN is coming up nationally is our non-surgical sculpting, body sculpting machines. So that's your Excelus and your M-Sculpt, which uses radio frequency and ultrasound for slimming. So it generates heat in the form of radio frequency and ultrasound, and therefore burning fat cells and tightening the skin. And the M-Sculpt, which is the muscle toning machine, so it gives contractions of up to 20,000 muscle contractions in 30 minutes. So that's for muscle toning. So that's also gaining popularity. Okay. Sure, like I said, the skin for me is a very important part of a general well-being. And I saw a patient actually, I think a week ago here, who's had this skin condition on her face, and it's been around for years. She's been to many doctors, many dermatologists. And as we were talking, she started tearing up. And for me, that was just a reminder of why I decided to do dermatology, and because of the impact that is overlooked and undermined, even by other doctors. It's seen as, oh, it's just a rash, it's just acne, it's just skin, you're not dying, it's okay. But it actually has a huge impact. So seeing a patient literally light up after you've treated them is what I live for, and it's why I love doing what I do. And having them walk out of here with confidence after walking in with their head down, sometimes even covered in hoodies, large hats and scarves, having them take all of that off, all of that mask off, and just lighting up. That's what I love the most. Okay, so with regards to taking care of your skin, the better you start, the sooner you start, the better. Taking care of your skin, avoiding getting to a stage where you have irreversible problems, irreversible scarring. Things as simple as acne, it can have dire scarring, and it can have severe complications, and even things like hair loss. Seek help early, and preferably seek help with a trained specialist who can give you a diagnosis and then plan a treatment accordingly. The aesthetics industry is growing at a very fast pace, and there's a lot of practitioners out there. It's important for you to choose your practitioner wisely and make sure that it is a well-trained and reputable practitioner to avoid complications, because we do see a lot of complications from some practitioners who are cashing in on the hype around aesthetics. Okay. Hi, I'm Dr. Ndwalane, a specialist dermatologist at SCIN Medi Spa in Hyde Park. You can find us at SCIN Medi Spas on Instagram and the Wembley Medi Spa on Facebook. Our shop is at shop UM70C in Hyde Park Corner.